Hello, everyone. This is Chrism, and I'd like to welcome you to this episode, shall we say, of conversations about your Kundalini. This is kitchen Kundalini because we're here in the kitchen. And in this conversation, I'd like to talk with you about personal protection. When you're out there, like I walk the dogs quite a bit at nighttime because the heat here, on the West Coast these days, we've had the hottest July just last month on record since weather was even being kept track of. We've had the hottest July. It's a record breaker, and the pavement is just too hot for their paws. So you need to understand that when you're walking your fur friends, that they're very, very, very sensitive to some of these hard rock type of things, and cement and pavement or that type of a thing. And so instead of walking them in the heat of the day, I tend to walk them late at night, which opens you up to interactions with people that would be attracted to your Kundalini, and they wouldn't know why, and they might just try to um, disturb your peace. Now, for me, I'm not so worried about it, but you can come across certain scenarios like having your dogs attacked by another dog. Not I've never been approached by another dog that it wanted to hurt me when my dogs were present, but they do go after each other. And in that type of a scenario, there are certain things that you can use. Now you have a flashlight here, and you can get this kind of a flashlight. It's a great flashlight. It's nice, heavy aluminum flashlight, and if you wanted to smack one on the nose, well, you could. But you could also do this, and that's also helpful. It doesn't hurt anybody. Nobody dies, and everybody kind of scampers away to live another day. And I find this to be much better than a gun or anything like that. The other option you have when you're out there and you may not want to interact with a wild animal or something that is perhaps more interested in you than your dog or whatever it is you're walking. If you're just walking, you can also use this. That is pepper gel. And once again, it doesn't kill anybody. It's very important that we don't go around killing things within the Kundalini. But having a certain level of self-protection, the Shakti is very supportive of that, and she will protect you to a great degree, but not always your fur friends, because they are driven more by instinct. They're driven more by the need to survive in the specific ways that they have been surviving for millions of years, and tearing each other to pieces is one of those ways. Now, not all dogs will do that, but some dogs will. And if you run into a dog that's been coerced by negative human training and is trained to go after a human or another dog, well, then these types of tools can be very effective without hurting the dog or the human, or it might provide some temporary pain. But the way I see it is this: a paper wasp is a symbol of Kundalini. Paper wasp, vespid. And even though it is a vegetarian and it goes just for the flowers and the nectars and the flowers, if you mess with it, it has a very, very potent sting. And you'll definitely remember it. Now, these are Kundalini creatures, so if they land on you, they know that you have Kundalini, and they know that if you're not going to try to swat them or anything like that, they're just there to partake of your radiance. Okay, the radiance of the Kundalini, coming out and through the skin. So, they will take part of that, but they they won't sting you unless you try to hurt them or kill them, which a lot of people do. A lot of people try to hurt them, try to kill them, and that's not a good plan because they will definitely defend themselves, and they have every right to. And the same thing goes with any of the serpents. The serpents, now some of the serpents are really aggressive, like say a black mamba or a green mamba, they will actually chase you. Uh, so some of the serpents may see you as food. If you're out there walking in the Everglades these days, you may come across a 25-foot python that might see you as really tasty. So, your Kundalini should help you with that unless, she has a different agenda for you. But in the case that they're going after someone else near you or a little kid or something like that, you can run up and you can give them a little bit of a shocking experience, which will help them unwind their coils and allow that child to go free. So there are many situations where non-lethal force can be used and is supported by the Kundalini. And let's go further into that. Let's go into the martial arts areas. Now, I've taken martial arts in my life, and some of the moves are just so deadly. You just look at that, and you're practicing it, and you're just kind of going, oh man. I've always been afraid of killing somebody because of my strength. Even as a kid, I'd get a person, we'd get in a fight. I did. I got in a few fights when I was a kid. I didn't win them all either. But I remember getting in a fight with a guy named Jerry, and I just knew that I was going to win, and I got him into a position where I could punch him in the face, and I just asked him. I said, "Do you want me to start punching now?" And he said no, and that was it. It was over. It was over. So within Kundalini, you are allowed to protect yourself. You are allowed to protect yourself. One of the martial arts that I'll suggest for Kundalini people is Aikido. Aikido. That's a Japanese martial art. And it focuses on balance and the use of force to just deflect energy away from you. So if somebody is coming at you and punching you like that, well, you just allow their own momentum to carry them past you without touching you. And I find that to be a very, very, very helpful exercise in Kundalini, really, because it's just showing you how to manage the energy of grace, that it allows you to manage that, because you definitely are not in charge with Kundalini. But it allows you to feel the effects of having a great knowledge of balance and force. Balance and force. I have seen a 5-foot, maybe 100-pound young lady literally throw a 6'2", probably close to 180, maybe 200-pound man across the room with Aikido. Okay, and so if this is something like, if you're a young woman and you're attractive woman, and you got to walk some, say, challenging areas of town to get to work or to get home from work, Aikido would be a very good thing to have, because some countries won't let you have this type of a deal. Zap. They won't let you have any of the pep. They won't let you have that. And so what are you supposed to carry, a fork? Will they let you have that? No, they won't. But they will allow you to take these self-defense courses. I've taken Aikido, I've taken Emua Kuntao, I've taken None of these did I take any belts with. I didn't, stay in them long enough to get belts. Taekwondo, which is one of the most violent ones, that one I have a hard time with because it's so deadly. I mean, you can really kill a person, and I don't want that. But the best one I have found is Aikido. Aikido is definitely a defensive posture, and there aren't a lot of movements within Aikido that are offensive. And they really walk the talk of the five rules of martial arts, which is talk your way out of it. Okay, talk your way. Say, look, I don't want to fight you, and you don't want my purse, and I certainly don't want to be raped by you. So let's just go our own ways. So there's that one, and then you can walk your way, and you just kind of like see that might be a problem. Maybe go to the other side of the street, or step into a store, step into a building. Make sure you're not stepping into a greater problem. So you can walk away, okay? And then, if walking away fails you, then you run away. Take your ego out of it, gentlemen, because you don't want to accidentally kill these people. Take your ego out of it and run. Run like crazy. Hopefully you're not wearing high heels, ladies. Run away. Run to a police station. Run to a taxi cab. Run into a store. Run away. Don't try to say, well, I'm not going to run away. I'm just going to stand there and fight. Bring it on. No. Don't do that. Run away. And then the fourth option is to just fight defensively, which is what Aikido teaches. So they come at you and they're going to grab you, and you just help them somewhere else. they can grab that light pole. Ouch! They can grab something else, and your Kundalini will aid and assist you in this part, as well as the next part, because the fifth option is to fight offensively. And with Kundalini, it can be really, really painful for the individual. It can be really nasty. I mean, nasty. You've got to understand how she comes to us in visions as a tiger. Tigers are not peaceful creatures. They're just not. They're not. I mean, we have stuffed animal tigers, and those are peaceful. Those are peaceful. But a real tiger, and I have seen real tigers up close, not 5 feet from me. They are not peaceful kitty cats. Okay. They would just tear you to pieces and look for the next person. Okay? They're not stupid at all. There is no such thing as a stupid animal. Okay? No such thing. They're all intelligent. They're all conscious. It's the human being that assumes that because animals don't think the way we do, that they're stupid. Okay. So, there's that. But the Kundalini comes as a tiger, as a wolf, as a wild dog, as a lion, a bear, top of the line, top of the pyramid, carnivores that typically rip and tear their way through flesh. So if you're put in a position where you have to fight, offensively, the eyes, the tongue, the jugular, the heart, the reproductive organs, the joints, ears, everything becomes fair game. Everything. And it's not a pretty thing. So really do your best never to get into that fifth position. Okay. You should, 99% of the time, you should be able to talk your way out of it, to walk your way out of it, to run your way out of it, or to fight offensively your way out of it. Very rarely, if ever, should you come into the fifth option. Okay. That's what I found. Guy came up to me the other night when I was walking Inara, the big German Shepherd. And I saw a dog coming out of the dark shadows because it's like 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning, and coming straight at Inara, and there was no way I was going to allow her to get it. So I stepped in front of her, and oddly enough, she wasn't barking. Something I didn't take note of, which I should have, and I will in the future. Her ears were up and she was looking that way, but she wasn't barking. But that dog was coming, and it was coming fast. And I stepped in front of it and, you know, let the dog know, I said no a couple of times. And then when it didn't back off, I gave it a kick. Oh, and the owner got so upset, not upset that he let his dog off the leash and the dog was coming and, seemingly attacking another person and their dog. He wasn't mad about that. He's mad that I kicked his dog. And I didn't kick it hard either. I just kept it away. And he come up and he come to me and he says, "Wow." I said, "Why isn't your dog on a leash?" And he said, "Well, it got off the leash." And I said, "Well, why is it attacking me?" And he said, "It wasn't attacking you." And I said, "What do you mean? It charged right at you." She was playing. He said, "She was playing." And then he wanted to fight me. He said, "Kick my dog again. Come on. Kick it again." And I have to tell you, I was tempted not to kick his dog. And I didn't. I just said, "You know what? I like your dog." And I just left. But there was the sting was coming forward, and I just did, no. So I put that away. And I want you to remember to put that away too. There's no need. If you can walk away, then you'll walk away. And I walked away. Okay. So there you have it with some of the self-defensive properties that you can have within the Kundalini. I'm not against guns. I'm definitely not against guns. If I had the money, I would have a gun. I would have a pistol. I'd have a 50 caliber machine gun if I could. Not because I want to kill anybody with it, but I just, it's that that Kundalini creature in me, top of the pyramid, carnivores, the top. They always have the best weapons. They're big, their claws are sharp, their teeth are long and sharp. Look at the orca. You think the orca is the top predator of the ocean because he's cute, cuddly, and doesn't have any teeth? No. Okay. But I don't have any of those things, and I'm not really looking to get them. I trust my Kundalini enough, and I'm going to encourage all of you to trust your Kundalini enough to know that she's got your back. She's protecting you. She may not protect everybody around you, but she's definitely protecting you. Okay. You have to remember, I stepped in front of my ferocious German Shepherd, who was not barking. But Chrism stepped in front of her to not let her be attacked. And I do the same thing with Ishta or Lasha or, any of the fur or feathered friends that I have around me, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with stepping in front of them. So there you have it. It doesn't mean that you advertise yourself as someone who can be taken advantage of. It doesn't mean that, if you're a woman and you're walking home from work, that you pull that skirt up a little higher to show more leg because it's hot outside. I mean, I don't know. You don't try to attract a problem. Now, they look at me, they see me at the cops, everybody sees me at night now, and I just don't walk like a victim walks. I'm not looking around scared all the time. I just don't. And neither does Inara. None of the dogs do. They're very happy to be out, number one. And number two, they're very happy to take everything in. For me, I'm aware of my surroundings, definitely aware of my surroundings, but I'm not afraid of my surroundings. And I don't want you to be afraid of your surroundings either. Trust your grace. But don't paint yourself with honey and stand next to a bear and don't expect the bear to take an interest in you. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Don't have a big wad of money and, flash it about so that all the homeless people who are desperate people, flashing that cash in front of their face, and don't have the expectation that one of them won't take an interest in relieving you of that cash. You got to use some common sense too. You got to use some common sense with this. It's a great exercise to go out and walk with the predators, the criminals. But you need to have a supreme confidence in your ability and in your Kundalini to help you and protect you, against all manner of attack, whether it comes from a criminal or a law enforcement agency, whatever it may be. Glenn Morris, a friend of mine who I worked with on a couple of his seminars back in like 10 or 12 years ago. He and his martial arts teacher, he belonged to this great Japanese Budo clan, and Bujinkin or something like that. Anyway, good guy, nice guy, had Kundalini, was helping people with Kundalini. And he loved to go out with his teacher Hatsumi Masamoto, and they would go out and they would walk in the most criminally infested areas just so they could kick some ass as old guys. Old guys going out and but even they could manipulate matter in a certain way because of the level of Kundalini they had, but most of the time it was their air of invincibility, their air of Kundalini enforced confidence. Nobody would attack them. And it's like if you start taking Aikido, or you start taking Karate, or Emua Kuntao, or Taekwondo, or any of these deadly types, like Taekwondo, you'll find that you never have to use it. Never have to use it. After I learned some self-defense, and I just mean some, I didn't get a yellow belt, or even a white belt. I just learned a few moves, and you never use it. But of course, I attribute that to the Kundalini. I give Kundalini all of the gratitude for that, because I know that she's the one that is basically controlling what it is I get to learn. And so if she wants me to get attacked in order for me to learn how not to be a victim, or how not to attract attention by being a victim, or whatever it may be, then she'll let you learn that lesson in various ways. But what I'm telling you right now is that you are given options by your grace. This is an option right here. That's an option. This is an option here. That's an option. You've got to make sure that your country allows it, and that the laws of your state, if you're in the United States, if the laws of your state allow you to have that. The spray I have here, the gel, is police grade. So you got to make sure you look that up. I looked it up. Like with these, with the stun flashlight, I can't take that into a government building. I can't take that around a schoolyard or a state university. Can't do that. But I can, I'm not walking in those areas at night. And I don't carry a stun gun to hurt anybody. I don't really have that need to hurt people. Okay, and I hope you don't either. But I know that some of you live in some pretty rough places, and that, these things might be a help to you. So I bring it to you within a Kundalini context today, and I want to thank you for watching.